Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You all, it is 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I am here to uplift whoever wants to listen this morning. To just get people to moving. We want you to move. I've been up since about 5:15, 5:30 this morning, and I've already done a whole job worth of work this morning. So just get going, get moving, get your blood flowing, so that you can have a productive day. So as you all know, hello dreamers, I come to you today. So if you are watching this broadcast at this time, then I would like for you to just say something. Say hello, say good morning, say no, it's not a good morning, it's really not, it's rough. Say whatever it is that's on your heart, whatever it is you feel, whatever it is that you need to get off your chest so that you can move in a productive spirit this morning. I'm all for it. So just say it in the comments and join us and get with us this morning. Let me make sure that all my connections are good, because I don't want to do a whole broadcast today and y'all have no idea what's happening, right? Y'all don't even know where we're at if we're live. So come on in, because you're going to really enjoy the show. I know every time and every day I say that, but it literally is the truth. So here we go. Okay, where I need to be. All right. Yes, yeah. So I see a couple people. So just come on in and say, hey, good morning. All right. Well, let's get started with the show. So the first thing is first, start living your dreams go live training is a conversation. So I'm getting what my goal is, or what the spirit put on my spirit is to be engaged in truth. Let's start talking about true things that are happening with us and learning, putting those things together so that we can move and walk in our truth. Whatever our truth looks like, we need to start walking in it, okay? And we need to be understanding that we can take whatever that is and live our best life. But we have to find the tools, the strategies, and all that things to do that. You can't just wake up in the morning and decide you want to live your best life. You have to put some work behind that. All right. So it's a conversation that I want to have with my Facebook people, my YouTube people, and they're always on the stream. So you guys can always come in, listen to it later, listen to the replay, comment, and get engaged with the guest speakers, because they all have a quality, a unique position in their lives that they're living. They're living the life that they were here to live. And I think that when you start surrounding yourself with people like that, great things begin to happen. All right, so let's move on. Let's go. I am T and Stacy, a white lifestyle coach, founder of the Start Living Your Dreams Training Facebook professional development group. Today is the day to begin. You guys need to understand that today. So you can't say, I'm gonna wait till next week, or I'm gonna wait till next week. Start today. Even if it's a little bitty step to you moving forward to doing something you ain't never done before, you need to do that. And one thing that I want to do, I want to dare you. I dare you to dream bigger. Dream some stuff you would never think that you could do ever. I dare you to dream bigger. And if you're not sure how to do that, I have a master plan, look behind me, that can get you to doing that, to get you motivated, get you getting up ready to just move into whatever it is that you're here to do. All right. So I feel like everybody that is living in their passion or their purpose should have something that gives them meaning, right? Whether it's an affirmation, whether it's a scripture, whether it's just you woke up with a light bulb moment and that's what you're moving on. So my passion and my purpose comes from this scripture, which is 2 Timothy 1. And it says, who have saved us and called us with the holy calling, not according to our works. Because my works, when I was trying to do stuff by myself and on my own, y'all wasn't getting nothing done. I was struggling, but not according to my works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given to us in Christ Jesus before the world began. So I had a purpose for me even before I was born. So when I dropped my little self, when I was born, I had already God had already laid out a purpose for me. And I think that I know that we all have that purpose. All right, so I got some people coming in. Let's see what did they say. Good morning, Miss Ella. Good morning. I'm moving too slow. Yes, get up, honey. Get up and move. Yes. All right. So let's get started with the show. Thank you for stopping in, Miss Ella. Thank you for saying good morning. This is one of my favorite students. I should I say that out loud in Facebook world, but she is. She joins our show all the time, and I'm so glad that she does. And good morning, Ayana. You are truly, truly a blessing. All right, so I have another, like I always say, phenomenal speaker joining us this morning that is going to give you just some information on how you are able to live life on your terms. What a beautiful thought and an idea that is, even in 2020, that you can live life on your terms. And so, without further ado, I want to introduce Esme. Esme, if I'm saying wrong, and I've been practicing this whole time, Esme Gregg to the show this morning. And she's going to tell you all the great things that she does and a lot of things about herself. So without further ado, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
So, how have you been this morning?
I've been wonderful, so excited, and just feeling blessed to be here and to be on your show, and just to, like you said, to share knowledge and truth and love and wisdom, right?
Yes, that's it. And it's such a blessing that you can be a blessing. I had a guest on yesterday and he said, I think I threw the sticky note away, but he was like, I live to and use all my blessings so that I can bless someone else. And he was 25 years old. Like, how amazing is that? Like, I was like, you done schooled me. I need to make sure I remember that. Like, I need
Wow.
to live by that. Because sometimes, I get blessed and I want to hold on to it. But sometimes that's not the right thing to do. And when people come to you at all ages and tell you things, sometimes it doesn't matter what their age is, it's the wisdom that's
Exactly.
behind that. So tell us, well, not a little bit, tell us about you, because ain't nothing small about what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Esme Gregg. I am an intuitive spiritual coach. I'm also a certified Reiki master, a Amazon best-selling author, a podcast host, and a speaker, because I do shows like this. Yeah, and so a little bit about me is I was just your regular girl and went to school, and I wasn't sure what to study in college, and I just kind of picked a major, and next thing I knew, I was in IT with a business degree, which was beautiful. And my dream as a girl, one of them was to travel, to work for an international company, like be around multicultural people, right? Like speaking different languages, because I was born in Colombia, so I already speak Spanish, and I love traveling and all of that. Well, guess what? I got all of that. I started working eventually for a large oil and gas company. I worked with people from all over the world. Through college, I also became friends with all kinds of, people from diverse cultures, and all of that. So life was pretty good. But guess what? I wasn't happy. Deep, deep, deep down inside, something was missing.
Mm-hmm.
And through a lot of long years of not taking action and not looking within and being disconnected, right? I was just kind of going through the circle,
Yeah.
and then I was blessed with some, just some great investments and some savings. And so I was able to leave my job. And I just thought, I'll take a few months off and kind of figure out my life. Now, let me tell you, I was in my late 30s by then, you know, and and I'm a single mom, so everything's on me. So it was a lot of pressure. But I knew that it would be okay, and that everything would be okay. So somehow I had that faith, that knowing. I didn't know how, but I knew somehow things would be okay. And through time, and this is what I help people with now because I did it on my own, is, I went through kind of like the darkness of the soul by myself, facing all my fears, going through forgiveness, having just like meditating and letting go and releasing. And I was holding a lot of pain and anger, especially from past relationships, from you name it, backstabbing, whatever, all those ugly things, right? Shame and guilt also. And all those things, they hold us down. It's that weight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that weight that holds us down. And it took me a few years to do it because I was just kind of doing it on my own. And so, so I share that part of my story because I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still in process, right? I'm not like a finished, complete diamond yet, right? Like I'm still, we're all in that process. And so that's what I help people with. I help entrepreneurs. I love working with entrepreneurs and business owners because that's where I come from, right? And I help them reconnect with their soul, because basically that's the disconnect. It's not like, oh, I don't know what kind of business I want to open. I don't know what kind of widget to sell. No, that doesn't matter. Once you have this deep connection deep within, it all makes sense. It's almost like the light is shining and you can see the path. And even if you don't see the path, you just know to keep moving forward and the path will open up for you. So that's what I help people with, to really realign and reconnect with their values, their beliefs, and just really reconnect with themselves so they can prosper.
Yes. I love it. I love it when you find that factor about yourself, and you are just I won't say in the beginning it's a lot scary, but when you finally push through all the scared and fear and all the what if this happens, what if that happens, when you finally push through all of that and see the beautiful light at the end and know that you're able to help someone else go through that, because I feel like in the connection we went through the same thing. I went through the same thing as well. So just like you, like it felt like I was all alone. Now my outer part of my life looked great. People are like, oh, and then people are like, I mean, how are you doing what you're doing? It was the me. So it had nothing to, my kids are good. My husband was good. The house looked nice. Everything was functioning properly. But it was the inside of me that I was like, how did I get here? That's my question. How did I get here? And where am I going? Like, I've always knew what I wanted to do. Always. It was always, as a kid, I was like, okay, I'm going to do, just like you said, you had a hope, I want to travel, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you get into your late 30s and you're like, how the heck? What?
Like,
and it's not that the world is crashing in on you. It wasn't that for me. I know that does happen to people, but for me, it wasn't like, so if you were looking in, you didn't see the turmoil that was going on inside of me, just trying to figure out. But when I realized my passion was to help people catapult to the next level, simply, like not by just great, just a simple kind of
like here, like let me
yes,
like I can be this one step up your ladder.
Yes. And that was it for me. So that was it for me. And whatever that looks like. And I tell people, stop gauging your life on finances and all of that. Just start living from here first, and you'll be amazed how that kind of stuff just happens. It literally will just fall into your lap when you start. And I know with people that are on the outside looking in, they're like, yeah, it'll fall into my lap. But literally, it does. So I just love having guests on to speak because it's confirmation for me. You know what you are doing is confirmation for me. And I love to hear that because to me, I don't have like competition things that doesn't even roll through my brain. But
Me.
some things that roll through my brain is like, okay, I'm doing it. Okay, if she had the same kind of thought, then that means I'm literally on the right track. This is
Exactly.
not for not like this is really what we're supposed to be doing to move people forward, and that is enough. And so we got some comments. Let me see who we got. Jump.
Ooh, love it.
Let's see how Yana, what she said. Oh, I got it on this little writing today. I love the both of you. We are so passionate about. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Thank you. And that's coming from a freshman in high school.
oh, that's
I
beautiful.
love it. So the next question is, thank you. And I will say, when you sit down, and young people, I'm talking to the young people now, when you decide to sit down, and I'm not saying listen to every single thing we're saying on this broadcast today, but when you decide to sit down and listen to people that have already went through the kind of storm, you're going to always have something going on, but that was a storm I went through. And so when you go through the storm and you see that life is just what it is, those are the people that you should be listening to. That should be the people that you want to tune in, because there's so much media out there. You could be watching all kind of stuff. And so I'm grateful and thankful that you are watching this this early in the morning to get some tidbits. But let's go to the next. So let's talk business. This segment is just you kind of talking about the depths of your business, kind of I don't know, whatever you want to talk. Give us some examples about how your ministry or your work is moving people forward, whatever it is you want to express with the
I
broadcast.
love that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and everything you say is true. And I commend the young people that are listening because, at 24, 25, if I remember getting a book, because I would always go to the self-help section. I was always drawn to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember getting a book back then, like in the mid 90s,
That's me.
But it was a book by Eckhart Tolle. And I remember the book, the cover, the title, whatever, it spoke to me, right? And it was a used bookstore. And I probably read it a little bit, and it was too much for me. It was like over my head. Well, guess what? That's my favorite book now. I had to go back and go buy it again because I wasn't ready to really understand it.
Right. That's right.
But just the fact that if I would have maybe tried, so don't give up. If you find that one book that may be too much, or that information, or if a speaker is talking way over your head, find somebody that is maybe just a few steps in front of you, because just don't give up. I let 20 years go by, which was okay. I want to send the message, and this is what I tell people. It's like, it's okay. Whatever happened, whatever decision, that's the way it was supposed to be. In hindsight, we may think like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish. But no, it's okay. I'm grateful and thankful for the abusive relationship that I was in. I'm grateful and thank you. And I send love and light to the people that lied to me and betrayed me, because and all of those ugly things that we almost, that we hold that anger with, it's when we can turn that into a lesson, and then we can forgive ourselves, not just them, but ourselves.
That's
So that's what I help people with. And like I said, I did not have the intention to do this as a business when I left my job. And really, it was more like, I was thinking more like a sabbatical, like I'm just going to do some healing, something. I thought I'd go on a spiritual retreat or something cool like that. And I found energy healing, which is Reiki. And I really loved that. And I learned that for myself, to heal myself. And that really helped me. And so then I thought, I could help people with this. But I did it for free for like 2 years because I had this limiting belief on money. Right. And it's hard for us when we're starting to work on our own.
Yes.
These limiting beliefs about money, about asking. And so about my business. So it's hard to take ownership of that, and it's okay. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. And the best thing is to surround yourself with other people that are either in the business world or have their own thing going on, or that are doing a startup or whatever it is. You have to surround yourself with those people. So and it doesn't have to be in person, right? Nowadays
Right.
we have podcasts, books, YouTube.
Yes. And one thing, I've always been a mentor and a coach, but for youth. So when I ventured off with this thing for grown-ups, it was a whole nother experience for me. But that was the one thing I used to always tell my youth. In the book that I wrote for my youth, I would ask them to, and I still do the same thing for the grown-ups, but different level. Look at, who are you admiring? Who are you taking the time out right now at whatever age you are? And who are you admiring? But be mindful that everybody you admire shouldn't be famous. Like, everybody you admire shouldn't be, a Beyonce or whoever, Michelle Obama, whoever. Everybody you admire should not be a famous person. Try to look for someone that's right around, anybody. You could be a teacher, maybe, it could be the person, the bus driver, or the person you see that's cleaning up the streets every single morning at the same time you're going to the bus. Think of everything, because all of that is literally important. The qualities of those people are going to be very valuable for you in your life. And so, I used to always say that to the youth, because I wanted them to understand, don't ignore the people that are right next to you. They have talents and gifts and can give you the information you need right then, right there. So one of the things that you said that I loved was the love, still giving love and light even to the people who wronged you. And I need everybody listening. If it's one person, two people, whoever is listening at this point, that was a good nugget right there. You need to take that, write it, put it in wherever you meditate at in the morning, because once you get over who hurt you like that, oh, the doors things start flooding over when you don't have malice. What I tell people is, don't have malice in your heart for people, because everybody's growing. So you can't control their growth process, So
Exactly.
so I really love that you said that. I love that you said, I gave love and light to all the people that hurt me, because that is a very, very important process to
It's
go
hard. It's not
through
easy.
this, right? That's right. So, but
But
I enjoy hearing that.
and I just want to add, the reason you do that, it's because I was even raped in my early 20s by somebody I really liked, and so with time, it's more about, I don't want to hang on to this. So when you send them love and light or forgiveness, it's really not about them. It's not you saying, it's okay, I agree, I really like what you did to me. No, it's not about that. It's more about, like, you know what? I'm tired of carrying this weight.
Yes.
And I'm going to put it down.
Mm.
And I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to. So in Christian terms, right? We give it to God. We put it at the foot of the cross.
Right.
And I try to speak to all religions. And so we just give it to the universe. It's what we say.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it to that higher power. Just let it go. And the universe, God, that higher power,
they got it. Yes, they're holding it for it. That's on them.
Yeah, they'll do it. Whatever needs to happen will happen. But it's really, so it becomes an act of self-love, basically.
It does. And I think that during the times that we are in right now, I think that saying those kind of things need to be said. I know I've said this a billion times, but I don't have the same listeners every day. So one thing that I said about this particular point is I learned this year that I have to love everybody. I mean, I know that's simple, right? That's a simple term. Like, you love everybody. I probably said, oh, I love her. No, me and you just met. I love you. That because there should not be strings attached to the love. There should not be, I got to be in some kind of relationship or friendship or careship before I love you. And I was like, man, I'm this old realizing that everybody, I gotta love everybody. And so I think that that's a point in this era and this time that needs to be said, because if I just now realizing this at the age that I am, and I am a loving person. I'm a loving person. And if I'm just realizing this, it needs to be said.
Yes.
Because people, just think that all love comes with all these different conditions. And if we're speaking to our spirit and we're trying to move to our spirit, then we got to understand that's not the case. And
No.
so
that love is unconditional. Our spirit and God and source and the universe loves us unconditionally.
Right.
We're not perfect.
No.
So why do we expect others to be perfect?
Exactly. And so our next segment is, how are you living life on your terms? So what are you doing now? What are some of the things that you are doing now? Because it sounds like you had a great life before you decided to really live in this passion life. And I think you're a perfect example for this question, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I like I said, I thought I was living a good life with my IT job in an oil and gas company, or I live in Houston, so that was the main industry, just the main industry here, and it was awesome. But like I said, something was missing. I was serving people in a different way, but I felt like there was a deeper calling, right? And I just followed through, right? Like I was being guided unknowingly,
Right.
And so living in my terms now, I am really fully happy, because all those gifts that I didn't know I had, that we all have actually, right? We all have this love and light inside of us, right? We all have this flow of love that is in us, and once we start connecting with that, life becomes and it doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to make it all beautiful and flowery and perfect, and
Right.
I don't look like this, in the morning when I wake up and things like that. It's more of a knowing in your heart, or more like a inner faith, that, and an openness. So even if we have a plan, let's say if I have an idea that I want to do this program this certain way and have 30 clients sign up, let's say, and it doesn't happen that way. Let's say I only get 5 clients. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the money and I'm looking at the bills, and it's like, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But it's like, okay, it'll happen. Yeah. And it's that trust. And I have that angel to remind me, because we're always surrounded by guides and angels and our ancestors and just beautiful beings that are loving and supporting us. And so, so living life on your terms basically it helps once we start really making a list of what I really value. What do I really believe, and why do I believe that? Not because that's what my family believes, but do I really believe this, and why? Why do I eat the things I eat, type of thing? Like I stopped drinking, I stopped eating meats, I stopped really cursing. I mean, just a little bit, but I made a lot of changes because it felt better. It felt better. It felt better. It felt more like me. And guess what? I lost friends. I lost friends. I lost friends. No more happy hour. No more this. No more that. No more birthday parties. It's okay.
Okay.
Because I'm living life on my terms.
Yes, it is okay.
And when you connect with that, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You're like, yeah, go ahead, party. Have a drink on me, whatever. Woohoo.
Right.
If you don't want me there, if you want me there, I can have a lemonade. I can still have fun, whatever, right?
I love that. I mean, I know I enjoy having these conversations. I really, really do, because that is it. That is like literally it. You're going to outgrow people, and it's okay. And it's going to be a time in this movement of forward moving that people are going to drop off. But this is my thing that I say, because earlier, remember I said I lead with my heart. So I've done that my whole life. I was born that way. That was my gift from God, this heart of mine. And so, which at some point in my 20s, I hated it because I was being used, abused, and everything else, and I couldn't figure that out. But
Right.
when I started protecting it more because I realized it was a gift, then
Mm-hmm.
things started opening up for me. So I think that people have to realize that living life on your terms, or you setting boundaries for yourself. And it might not even be boundaries that make sense to anybody else. They might be thinking you going crazy. People might be on the other side saying, okay, she's losing her mind. She doing things. But if it's my soul journey, then I have to do things that are going to make my soul happy. And it might
Yes.
not be what the world is telling me it is.
Whoop,
So
whoop.
when Esme, is that right? Esme?
Mhm.
When Esme said, I'm leaving this great job, people was looking at her side eye. And I'm going to tell you a story about that. I have a daughter who now we know, because she's 24 now. Now we know she has autism. But back in the day, wasn't nobody talking about no autism. And so, but I knew that something wasn't right. I knew
Mhm.
it. I quit my job. Mind you, back then I was only making like $6 an hour. Okay. But quitting your job in our culture was not a thing to do. That was not what we were doing 4 years ago. And so now it's more common, but honey, not then. And so when I quit my job, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm quit my job. But everybody felt at that moment that something was wrong with that I was going through. Oh, she's okay. She'll be all right. But everything in my spirit was like, nah, she's not okay. I don't know what it is. Now I'm not a doctor.
It was your intuition.
Okay. And so that was a big thing. And I was going against a lot of my family members with this quitting a $6 an hour job. But that's just, you just don't quit jobs and sit at home. That just wasn't what you did. And so I am grateful, thankful, and that I went with that, because this child could have been sitting in a room at 25 today with the full scale of autism on her back. But since I did that, I got her therapy training. I worked with her, did all the things, and she's a highly functional autistic 24-year-old. She's at work right now.
That's
So it's
beautiful.
not to say, because sometimes what you do when you're doing stuff, it doesn't make sense to other people. It's not going to look right on paper. It's not even going to add up. But you have to know what is good for you. And that's how you're living on your terms. And
Yes.
so,
Yes. Love that story. Thank you for
yes.
sharing. And actually, you only switched jobs,
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
right?
good. But the world just has us messed up in the mind that who can leave? I can't, I'm not going to be able to, but you're here for a purpose. So if you're
Right.
living for a purpose, it's going to, and also what one of my things I had to learn with my nonprofit is, in my mind, my flesh mind, I was like, oh, I'm going to save all these girls, 10,000 girls all over the world. That's how I was thinking when I first got in it. And then I get like 3 girls. And then
Yes.
my husband looked at me. He was like, "You're a hypocrite." And I was like, "What? What did I do?" He was like, "Who told you you was saving the world? Like, who told you with this organization that you were going to save 10,000 girls?" And I was like, "I did." But that wasn't what I was here for. I'm here to touch one, if that's the
Yeah.
I'm here to tell if one person is who I'm coming in for 2 hours, whatever my time, that's it.
That's
That's enough.
that's enough. That helps. And it'll bounce off, and that energy will.
It did. When I changed my mindset, oh, it did. I can't. That's a whole nother show. We don't even have
Yes.
time for that show. All right. So our next one is, I know you kind of told us a little bit about what you did to get to this point, but what are some of the strategies or some of the steps that you did to get to the point that you are, mind, body, and soul? Because they all gotta kind of work together in order for this kind of thing to work.
Oh, thank you for asking that. Yes. So a lot of it started clicking for me. I think when I started doing meditation, and meditation can just be, if just to kind of give a different definitions, right? So meditation. So if you do prayer, you're probably focusing on asking, right? Praying and maybe saying certain prayers, things like that. Meditation is more about maybe allowing the answer to come.
Mhm.
And the answer, we can really only connect with it when we are in stillness and in silence.
Mm.
And so it think of like training a puppy to sit, you know, and you have to have the snack and the treat until the puppy sit, you know, and take several times. And you don't give him the snack or him or her, the snack, the treat until, you know, he's been still for a while and is sitting and right. So we have to train our body like that. So it's like we just say to ourselves, I'm going to sit in stillness. I'm not going to scratch here. I'm going to focus on my breathing, all these things. And with time, with practice, even if you do 10 minutes every day and then maybe 15 and maybe 20, just practicing on your breathing and just training your body to sit. What that does, it kind of rewires us because we're so much in our head.
Yes.
And our brain, our ego, our mind, it thinks it's in charge. Like our body thinks it's in charge. If you notice when you wake up in the morning, it's like you're on autopilot, right? You get up, you probably go to the bathroom, you go do this, you go do that. Next thing you know, how did you make it to the kitchen and you're pressing the button on the coffee or you know, doing something for the coffee or the tea? It's like you're on autopilot. Sometimes I realize I'm like, how did I open the blinds so fast? Like, I don't remember doing that, but it's like my morning routine, right?
Yes.
So that autopilot, or when you're driving to and from work, it's like next thing you know, it's like, how did I make it already here? That's autopilot. That's your body just going because it knows it's the programming. So when you start breaking up that programming by meditation, by that stillness, and there's a lot of YouTube videos out there, but just practicing that, it really, really helped. I used to come home from work and yell at my child, you know, take out my frustration on him being a single mom or frustrated girlfriend with somebody, you know, whatever.
Right.
And yeah, and I used to do that. And so with meditation, that was a big, big thing for me. And then doing just a lot of inner work and doing a lot of research, a lot of studying, and asking not what is wrong with me, but what do I need? What do I need to learn? You know, or asking like what, you know, instead of blaming, let's say, my ex-husband for whatever, it's like, well, why did I allow that person in my life? So it's more like you start taking responsibility.
Yes.
And once you start taking responsibility, you're not pointing, you know, they say when you point one finger out, there's 3 other fingers pointing back at you.
That's right.
And you start getting to a different level. So you start leaving the you know, like where you're the victim, and then you start going up the different levels. So for me, meditation was really key point.
Awesome. And it's so hilarious because it's funny how people are going to do this thing their own way. And I am just now I do prayer. And I totally agree with you. Like prayer mornings and getting to know God, for me, that was just me building a relationship. So that's a relationship builder so that I can go out in the world and be normal, like mentally prepared. But meditate now, I'm literally, this week my scripture was about me sitting still so that I could hear the voice, even if it was a whisper in the wind, to allow me. So I was like, okay, so this meditation journey that you went on, I am just now starting literally this week on the meditation journey. And that's how, but like I said, we just met on this broadcast today, and that's what God does for me. That's what he did. It's that's confirmation for me, because I was like, I don't think I've ever meditated in my life. It was hard for me to do a minute. It was hard to sit for a minute because my brain is a worker. My brain is a worker. It works and plans my entire day out. I got this whole week planned out already. So for me to sit, I was like, this is hard. Like, for me to just sit and just think, not to have just a million things going on in my mind. When I get through this is going to break through. awesome. Really, breakthroughs are really going to happen for me, and I'm
Yes.
because I didn't know until this week that meditation would be hard for me. I do it at I've been doing, going to my prayer closet all the time. I thought, but it's different.
Yes. And it can still be a type of prayer. You can still call it a prayer. And
Mhm.
meditation can also, for people that run or walk, that can be a type of meditation, because running it's something that loosens your mind. But when what's harder, like you said, it's like to sit still, kind of like think how hard it is for a puppy to like, what are you saying? Like they don't understand whatever words you're saying. They're like, what do you want me to do? And like I just want that treat, dang it.
Yeah, that's my focus. And so I thought, yes. So I do agree. I do agree. I do think that these kind of tools, look, Facebook, YouTubers, wherever you're watching us from right now, those type of tools are very important in your life to live life on your terms, because we've gotten all jumbled up with what the world wants from us. And
Yes.
it's not that at all. Like, it's not that at all. And so you have to figure out what you are supposed to be providing to the world, and the things that the real things that you're supposed to be getting back from it. And
Mm.
I think that is the important part of living life on your terms. Okay, so I have a segment called Freestyle. So you can tell us whatever you want. If you got a new hobby that you're doing, or if you started something new, or if you just want to, kind of whatever it is that, because we are women too. Like, I know we do all this business stuff, but what people have to get when you're living on your life on your terms, we have to let the world know that I'm not a life coach all day. Like, that's not, so get used to me. If you see me singing karaoke, get used to me singing, or get used to me doing something else, and stop trying to put me in this little box well, if I say I'm a life coach on Facebook, then that's all that I do. So I want to give people an opportunity to be like, yeah, I do that, but I also, do this.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of meditation, a lot of things for personal growth, and I focus full time on my job. I just released a 4-week program, so all that stuff, it's fun, and it's uplifting, and I love it, and I can tell you more about that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a woman. I'm a we it's okay for us to have different roles and different hobbies and different interests. And so one thing I really, really love that I have lost contact with, that I want to get back in touch with, is dancing salsa. I love dancing, any type of dance. So I was the club girl, I
Yes,
was
I love
out
to
there.
dance.
And that's where I met a lot of my bad boys that, taught me great lessons, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I have a beautiful son, a teenager. He's 16, and it's funny that he's mixed, and he has this worldview that is just amazing. So I think the biggest thing is that, and I think I heard you talk about this before, is dealing with children, and I know you work with children, and I think as parents, they see us, they learn through us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not so much what we tell them to do,
Mm-hmm.
it's they're watching us.
Yes.
You know,
Peeking. They peekers.
yeah. But they're not just watching like, oh, did you actually brush your teeth before go to bed? I mean, they are watching that. But they're watching how you react to things. They're watching how what you're talking about this election, how whatever
Ooh.
side you're on, whatever, they're discussing that, and they're creating, especially at teenagers, they're creating their own viewpoint too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think it's important for them to see us flourish in our career and in our relationships, and also that we want to have fun and do our fun stuff and reconnect with ourselves, because having that playfulness and reconnecting with that 5-year-old, 10-year-old inside of us.
It's important.
That opens up that life flow. That's the true us. So
Yes.
so
Oh, I love that, the life flow, because it does. It does. And that's why I want people to come on here, because that side of me, I don't think the little girl in me, the healthy little girl, let's say that.
yeah.
The healthy little girl in me is never leaving. But I did that for my grandfather, but the healthy little girl for me is never leaving. Me and my daughters just bought us some skates, because I was like, look, y'all, we hang out, but we hang out at the restaurants. I gotta
Mhm.
get from the restaurants. I can't eat like y'all eat. Y'all young, I can't do what y'all do. And I said, I need an activity. So we just bought us skates. And just keeping the youthfulness in you, whatever that is. I'm a dancer too, and forgot. How do you forget?
I know.
That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. I was going
Yes.
to be a trained ballerina. Who knew that?
I wanted to be a Janet Jackson backup dancer.
That would have been fun. So
Control.
how does life happen to you that you forget those things? So that's what I want to say. When you say living on your terms, you go out there and go to a dance class, and who cares who in there? Like, who cares if it's a little kid or whatever, or who cares even if those bad boys are in there, because our mindset is so different now, honey. We ain't even looking at you. We're thinking about how cute we saw you.
Exactly.
No more. So,
I may look, but
right. But the thought process is totally different now.
right.
Oh, but that's all so living life on your own terms. It's not always about business. It's also, you have to carve out that time for the fun time in you. And even if it doesn't even make sense, if I want to be a roller derby woman at this age, I mean, to other people, they'd be like, this woman lost, is she crazy? But who cares?
Who cares?
Do it. And so that's all that, we wanted to share. And I love this freestyle moment, because it does open up an opportunity so people can see both sides of you. I think when people can relate to who you really are, they're comfortable to get the things that they need. And I know in this time right now, it is a need for coaches or mentors or people to provide you that next step. Stop churning like that hamster wheel and go get whatever it is that you need. And I last thing that we do, I want to talk about. So when we talked, you have a 4-week program. So let me go back to this one. We have a 4-week you have a 4-week program. So what is it? What is it called?
Woohoo! Oh, I lost my notes, but basically it's starting on December 1st, and it's just 4 weeks of going through, and just like we talked about, what I help people with. I will help you find what you really value, what you really believe in, and just realign with that, and then kind of find that one limiting belief, the kind of, maybe whatever we can work with in the 4 weeks that is stopping you from either starting your business or moving forward or creating more income, whatever is stopping you as an entrepreneur, or even in your private life, whatever it is. So even though it's a group program, I guide you through that, and we'll have Zoom calls and training sessions. And so I can share the link, or it's in my Facebook.
So that's exactly what I'm going to want you to do. Share the link. And so that they can get it right off this broadcast. They don't have to go find it or go look for it. You can just click it, and it takes you right to wherever it is that you need to go. So we'll definitely share all of that. Whatever it is you want to share, we are going to share it, because that for me is what I'm here to do. Like, if I'm going to say I'm the Start Living Your Dream training, and that's what we're doing, then I need to provide resources and places for people to go, people to meet, people to see, in order to do those things. And I know that you are the real deal. I mean, because this is exactly what is happening. The Lord is bringing people that says yes to this particular broadcast, and we have the same mind, the same target kind of thing going on. And so I'm so honored you came. The only thing I want to end the show with is Also, join the Start Living Your Dreams training, so that you can get these videos or these. A lot of people leaving if they're having an event, or people, drop in and say if they're talking about finances or talking about whatever their expertise is, really, whatever you want to share that is valuable information in the link. The only thing that I ask, and that's with any community that you're a part of, is be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, so engage in it, and you can refer or talk about what you're doing, but engage in the people, engage in the group, because that's the only way that the groups are going to flourish, and you're going to get out of it everything that you need, is if that you're a participant. So just be select. And also I tell people, be selective about what groups you're part of, because you don't want to be a part of 100 groups and then you're not even able to. Who's able to do that? Like, who's able to be a participant in 100 groups in this day and age? I don't know. But so be selective on the groups that you're deciding. I won't be mad if you don't try this group, but I do know that there are people out here looking for this type of group, just like they're looking for other groups. So just, if it's something for you, join it and be a participant. And I believe that across the board with whatever group you decide to join. All right. Well, we're going to go. Today's been great. I know I kept you longer, way, way longer than we were supposed to, and I apologize for that. But you have a magnificent day. All of the information for Miss Greggs is going to be linked in this thread. So please, please, please stop by her page, check her out, try the 4-week program that starts in December. And it was a pleasure having you.
Oh, thank you so much. And I appreciate what you do, the love and that you share, and how you're helping the community. And if anybody's in Georgia, please go and vote. It's so important. Please go register and vote. Yes. I don't know where everybody is, but I just want to send you lots of love and gratitude also for what you do. It's very important. And just wishing everybody a lovely, lovely day.
Yes. Well, thank you. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank Miss Ella and all the guests that were in the broadcast. And you all make sure that you are speaking life, not death, life into someone today.